Hey, what's going on, creatives? In this video, I want to see if I can take my 9-year-old wedding video and upgrade it using the power of AI. Let's jump on in. As someone who also films weddings, you can talk to couples and explain the longevity of a wedding video, but you don't truly understand it, I feel like, until you've had your own and it's gone through a few years or decades or whatever it might be. That ability to be able to go back, I'm extremely grateful we have it, as well as our photography, but it has some rough edges to it. And I wanted to jump in and see if now with the power of AI, if a lot of the things I would like to fix with the wedding video are more possible and honestly could maybe even be possible for your average user who doesn't know a lot about editing. When I go back to look at my wedding video, there's a few things that really stand out to me that are a little rough. The first thing is the audio. So I recall, I had a couple friends capture the wedding day and they did a great job, but we were all kind of new to filming weddings at this time. And the audio, to me, is one of the most important things with a wedding video. We can often sit down, watch a video, maybe the quality is not great, but the audio is still good, so you can kind of work past it. But I know, at least for myself, if I'm trying to learn something or figure out something, and I click on a video that might have amazing video quality, but the audio is terrible, I immediately click off. So when I go back to watch my wedding video, it's great. I love seeing all the beautiful shots and everything. But as soon as someone starts talking, the audio gets really, really rough. So that was the most important thing I wanted to see if I could fix. With our wedding video as well, I know it was primarily shot on some older Sony cameras like the Sony A99. And so we were limited to 1080p. And so I would love to be able to see that footage sharper. See if there's a way to upscale that 1080p footage into 4K. So when we go to watch it on our new 4K TV at home, that it's going to be crystal clear and sharp and not super fuzzy and rough around the edges. I was actually trying to put together this video and I asked ChatGPT to give me a script because I was thinking, okay, this video is going to be all about AI. Wouldn't it be fun to have a script generated by AI? Wasn't turning out very well. I thought I was a podcast called Adobe Podcast. So just to be clear, the script was not created by ChatGPT today, but I did try. I've actually already ran everything through. I haven't done much reviewing of it yet, but I've had pretty mixed results, I would say. So first things first, audio sounding really good. I was pretty surprised what it was able to do. Keep in mind what you're about to hear from the wedding video. Most of the audio that we had from the speeches was just straight off the camera. So we weren't able to plug in the DJ system. I don't think we had loud mics at that time, and we didn't really think about miking up who was speaking. So it was primarily just off of the cameras, which were right in the mix of everything. Everyone eating, talking, to themselves, applauding, all that stuff. So it was pretty impressive what it was able to pull out. Now, I also did try to upscale. That's been a different result, as you will see, but we'll start with the audio first. So I'll walk you through what I essentially did. If you don't have Adobe yet, you'll want to sign up for Adobe. Right now, the website is podcast.adobe.com. You're going to go to Enhance Speech. And as you'll see, it's actually still in here, which is pretty cool. It now saves your video files, which I do really like. And so if what I need to do is just go here, import my audio, but I've already done that. So we have it right here. You can actually play back your audio. So I don't think speech has started to
do with Nanlite as well. I've seen
So let me turn this off real quick.
How much he cares for it. I've also seen how much that helps drive.
Yeah, as you can see, it was pretty bad. I think only the reason I even know what they're saying is because I was there. And this was actually after a little bit of post-production. This is back in 2015, so whatever little bit of audio post-production I knew, I did do to this to try to bring it out a little bit more. But yeah, as you can tell, it's still pretty bad.
There's nothing we're not capable of doing.
So yeah, pretty bad. We're going to turn this on. I'm going to crank it all the way up just so we can see how much of a difference it makes.
That a person, there's nothing we're not capable of doing.
So as you can see, all the background noise is pretty much gone. But it sounds really weird.
How much he cares for it. I've also seen how much that helps.
It sounds like my best man Jesse is underwater right now. So
Try and inspire him to be a better person. There's nothing we're not.
but I do feel like it's more like I can actually digest what is being said. But yes, it sounds really weird. So what's cool with this now, this wasn't a feature for a little while, but it is now. You can actually change the strength percentage. And if you wanted, like sometimes, maybe some parts of the line sounded fine, but then there's other little parts that didn't. You could also render out different versions of these, and then when you bring it into Premiere, you could have all your different percentages. What I've also done in the past as well is I'll bring this into Premiere as 100%, but then I'll maybe lower the volume of it and mix it with the original audio just to kind of bring it back in the middle. So there's a few different ways to go about this if you're not getting exactly what you're looking for. But for the time being, let's just try to lower the percentage and see if it starts sounding a little better. So it still sounds pretty weird, and we're also bringing back some of that background noise, but it's not too much that like we can't live with it. So I'm gonna maybe drop this down to about 70%.
As well. I've seen, how much he cares for her. I've also seen how much that helps drive and inspire him to be a better person. There's nothing this tool we're not capable of doing.
So I'm pretty happy with that at about 75%. It does still sound a little robotic, but we've gotten rid of most of the background noise. So I'm okay kind of rolling with this, I think. But what I might need to do is to mix this with the original audio a little bit to get it perfect. Let's jump around here. Let's see if we can find something else.
And that forsaking all others,
I will keep myself
So this is the vows. Let me go ahead and turn this off.
to you only until we are separated by death.
So our vows were a little bit better because I think there was a lav mic put on someone. But still, you hear some background noise. I think I heard like the photo clicks, things like that. So let's go ahead and turn this on. I'm going to crank it all the way up.
as God is witness, I give you my
So gave us a list, it sounds like a little bit.
Well, now that Travis and Emily have given themselves to each other by solemn vows before us and before God as witness, and have shown their love.
Okay, I like about 75% there. It's gotten rid of some of the reverb, gotten a little bit rid of the background noise, but it still sounds
And
like
trust by the giving and receiving of rings, and by joining hands.
So it's pretty good. So then what you would want to do is you would want to download whatever percentage you want. Again, it might not be a bad idea to get a few of these because you can always mix them. And then we're going to go into Premiere. All right, so I'm inside Premiere. I apologize, my layout's a little ugly right now. But we got the original, and then I actually did a render with the new audio that I had put together. I believe this is it.
In the last few years. But when I see
So that's our original audio, and then we were able to make it.
you together, I know that you found the person that God intended you to be with. And I'm very happy for you.
And what would you tell me about him?
He's become one of the best people I've ever known. He is.
We can sacrifice tonight.
So is our original?
I read this particular verse because through the scripture, my friendship began to trust in me.
And here is our new audio.
My friendship began to trust in me. It was also something that I would lesson on as individuals and as a couple actually put into action.
So as you can see, that was about as far as I could push it. It's not great audio still, but I think it's still much clearer than what we had before. I could probably do a little more of my own work on top of this as well, maybe to remove a little bit of that noise you hear, that like hiss. But overall, like I feel like it did help clean it up a little bit.
There's nothing this tool are not capable of doing.
So that's our audio.
I've seen how much he cares for it. I've also seen how much that helps drive and inspire him to be a better person. There's nothing this tool are not capable of doing.
So there you go. So again, I was able to increase the audio quality a little bit, but there's still only so far you can really push this. Maybe as the technology increases and gets better, we'll be able to do more with it, but that's about as far as I think I could push it. I did actually do a little more touch up with the wedding video. We have a little bit more of a look now and a style. So I actually went through and kind of recolored and recolor graded and recolor corrected. I just have a better understanding of like how to match cameras and things like that. So that was a problem that we had, even though a lot of the cameras were Sony cameras. The matching wasn't great because we had like A99, we had A7S. So they kind of looked the same, but not quite, plus all the different lenses. And then there was just some inconsistency with white balance. So I went in and fixed that up, which that was improvement in itself. That's not with AI, that was me manually doing it. But another thing that you could always do with some old video, usually your skills evolve and you understand things better. So that's what I did. I went ahead and improved some of the color correction and some of the color grading in the wedding video. So as you can see here, kind of turning it on and off, just kind of made it a little more flattering. I also recovered some highlights. I mean, these are older cameras for sure. I mean, the A99 at this point is like over 10 years old, and so they don't have the best dynamic range, so I tried to make do what I could. But man, I don't know what I was doing with the color grade originally. Super pink, like magenta tint over it, and I just try to kind of calm that down, bring back some of the highlights, and have it kind of match more of the look that we take for our wedding nowadays. Next up on my list, I wanted to see if I could turn the 1080 footage into 4K. Now there's a few options floating around out there. There's Topaz AI, 2X Video, HitPaw. I tried all of them a little bit. I actually found the free one, the Video 2X, to be probably the best jump from kind of like the 1080 to 4K and still having a good consistency to it. Topaz kind of worked. I just didn't really feel like the image I was getting what I wanted. So then I tried out HitPaw because I did a sample with them. I thought the sample turned out pretty well, but then once I applied it to all the video, it wasn't really turning out like I wanted to. So let me show you what kind of happened with that. What's great about HitPaw is it's fairly straightforward to use, and it has other ways to repair your video too. So there's the simple video enhancing. So what I would do is I would import my wedding. And then it gives me some options. So I went the face route, and maybe that's where things fell off. So basically with the face model, I tried sharpen and I tried soften, and wasn't really too satisfied with either option. I tried to mix the two together, didn't really work, but there are other options as well. So as you can see right away, we had a 1080p sequence, and now we're sitting at 4K. So my top layer is the smoother one, and my bottom layer is the sharpened one. So let's go ahead and make this a 4K sequence now. So now let me go ahead and turn on our 1080. So funny enough, the 1080 looks sharper to me, I think, just because of the face softening that's going on. Let's zoom in here to 100%. This is our 4K. So it's doing some weird stuff with the soft smoothing. So I don't think that's the way to go. So in some cases it is clear, but then as you can see, here's an object that was probably kind of out of focus, and it's just making it look more mushy. Whereas at least, even though this is maybe not as sharp in 1080, you still get to see more of the detail of like the face and everything, whereas it's just kind of making it like a mushy mess. But yeah, it's doing some weird stuff with the smoothing that I'm not a fan of. So I don't think I would use this. Oh, that's like really weird. It's doing, looks like my hair's in my glasses. So yeah, not what I would want to move forward with. So let's check out the other one that is supposed to be less softening, more sharpening. So that's the 4K and then the 1080. I think I could roll with this one. It does look sharper to me. Let's zoom in a little bit. It looks a little artificial though. Like it almost kind of looks like when you see AI art, like, you know, we're not really getting any detail here. And I think it's just because that detail, maybe it didn't really exist. Again, older cameras, not picking up as much. There's some blown out spots that are just gone. But if you were wanting like a thumbnail, no pun intended, that, you know, like that would probably be better because it would be nice and sharp. But then when we kind of see it in
It
motion
was
here,
also something that with us and as individuals and as a couple.
yeah, like there's just something weird kind of going on. Like it just kind of looks like a filter was put over versus actually 4K sharpening.
I read this particular verse because through the scripture, my friendship began with Travis and Emily. It was also something that with us and them as individuals and as a couple actually put into action. I was intrigued by how in sync they were. We would put one another when I first met them.
Hey, thanks for joining me for this video. I was able to take my wedding video from 9 years ago and with some Adobe AI powered tools was able to fix the audio, but sadly was not able to bring my 1080 wedding to 4K. I was able to do some manual touch-up though to make the wedding film look a little better with color and sharpness to the footage, things that maybe I didn't know 9 years ago that I know now. It's honestly incredible how far technology has come, and it allows us to take something that's dated or rough around the edges and breathe new life into it. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to this channel. And are you planning on doing anything like this to your older videos? Please let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for watching and stay creative.